let's get back to the stylesheet.css, and here we have used this h5 tag. Where it goes? There it goes. This is the h5 tag that we have used. So we can customize them over here. All we need to do, first of all, we need to specify this block wrapper class, and we are pasting it over here. We are now providing this h5. So any h5 header tag which appears right beneath this block wrapper class, it will be following a font size of 1.4 rem or larger if we wish to provide it. So if we now press Ctrl S and get back to our project and reload, we can see that 1.4 rem it is, and this will be the exact same font size that will be followed in each and every cases, as we haven't made any kind of device specification over here. Now if we wish to do so, in case of lower mobile display device which is below the 768 pixels, the h5 tag, it will be having a font size of 1 rem for say, or 1.2 rem or 1.1 rem, whatever it is. So in that particular case, all we need to do, we need to copy it from here and we need to paste it right over here, where we need to mention the font size. It should be 1 rem. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and you can see that this is the 769 pixels so far. If we press here 768 pixels, we can see that the font size is now changed to 1 rem for this h5 tag, which coincides with the same font size of this particular p tag that we have used below. So in that particular case, we can make this change, or if we do not wish to make so, we can practically increase it a little. We may use this particular 1.7 rem font size over here, and we may use this 1.3 rem font sizes over here. Just save the change, get back to your project and reload, and you can see that here it goes. Everything is back into its order. Check this thing on into 320 pixels. There it goes, and yes, it is now changed over here. So we can practically customize this h5 tag, and in the same manner we are practically able to make any changes into this particular p tag if we wish. But thing doesn't stop here. There are some more things that we need to do. If we make a clear attention over here, you will see that these icons are disoriented. Some of them are extreme aligned, some of them are a little bit of distorted into shifting into the middle position, and everything in it. Everything is going to be like that. So this is the problem that we need to rectify in the second case. In that particular case, all we need to do, we need to press this F12 and open up this code inspector panel. Let's select any of these blocks. Let's select any of these blocks. So this is the div class call m3 that we are specified over here. All we can do in the second case, we can see that in case of .row.call, there is a property which is float left. So if we uncheck this box over here, observe the change here, you can see that it is all of them, all of these icons, those are now practically centrally shifted. Those are now centrally aligned, each of these icons over here. So all we need to do, we need to copy this class. We need to get back to our stylesheet.css, and all we need to do, what? We need to make a better usage of it. So we have provided it over here, and we need to mention in case of which particular element it is going to work. So we need to specify this particular class, this block wrapper. So anything, this .row.call classes which lies below this particular block wrapper content, it will be having no changes at all in this probable case of larger desktop preview. So we do not wish to keep any changes over here. All of them should be floating to the extreme left. there shouldn't be any kind of problem with it. But in the second case, up to this 768 peaks, it will be executing some changed properties over here. In this particular case, it will be not floating to the left, it will be aligned into the central position, and this is the original intention, this is the actual intention with which we are working right on. So in the next case, the very first thing we need to check on the changes, those we have made over here, and we are reloading. Practically there won't be anything, we haven't changed anything into our text editor, so everything will be refreshed into its original condition. And you can see that this is practically the float left alignment which has been observed right over here. If we have our larger desktop preview, we can see that no changes is being deflected over here. Nothing has been shown right into this position. In the second case, all we are going to do, we need to copy this class from here and we need to paste it under the condition of max width of 768 peaks. So here, as we have mentioned, that the float will be none. We have defined that the style properties of the rows and columns, which is under this block wrapper element or this block wrapper class, it will be executing a float none property under this particular 768 peaks condition. So this is the thing that we need to mention over here. This is the thing that we actually intend to do. If we get back to our project and reload, we will see that in case of the larger desktop preview, there's practically no change in this particular grid section. All of them are practically left aligned, all of them are practically having some float left condition. But if we now press Ctrl+Shift+M and get back to the mobile responsive preview, reload, and you can see that this is the result. Each and every material class icons, those are practically centrally aligned, and there's absolutely no problem.